Okay, we're talking about personal branding today. I am Eva Palikova. I'm an executive coach for entrepreneurs. I'm also an international speaker and Amazon #1 Amazon best-selling author, and I work with female coaches and consultants and service-based entrepreneurs, and I teach them how to get more clients, gain financial freedom, and build a sustainable business that really works for them and not the other way around. So I just went live in my Facebook group, It's Her Business, that, by the way, I invite you to join. I think we're going to post a link underneath, or you can just search on Facebook for It's Her Business. I do a ton of training in there, and we just did an hour-long training on personal branding, and I just want to give you guys the quick and dirty version over here. So, and by the way, this is my own take. I cannot stress this enough. You guys, I don't want you to get stuck in working on your brand and fonts and colors and logos and whatever and redesigning, because that is where people tend to hide. And I want you to be in action and creating your audience and inviting people into having conversations with you and scaling your business, okay? So branding is just the thing that you want to check off your list and move on and not spend a lot of money on, unless you have a huge stream of revenue, or not huge, unless you're at least $150,000 a year, where it makes sense for you to invest into having a branding strategist and so on and so forth, right? You just fixed my camera a little bit. Okay, so 3 elements to personal branding. I want you to write this down. Number 1 is your energy and how you show up, how you leave people feeling after they talk to you. Number 2 is your online brand. Number 3 is your offline brand. So really quickly, right? So the energy with which you show up, you have to be very, very intentional about this. You need to be clear about how people feel when they talk with you, when they watch your video, when they come to your workshop. What is the emotion that you are evoking with them? And be intentional about it, right? And write this down, what you want it to be. Do you want them to feel grounded or settled? Or is it rejuvenated? Or is it nurtured or feeling heard and understood? Or is it taking action, being inspired, motivated, right? So what is it? Be very, very clear about this, right? Now, 2 eyes of selling that I teach, 2 eyes. Whenever you show up, you have to make sure people are inspired. There's inspiration and there's invitation, all right? Inspiration first, right? You're always inspiring people to do something or do nothing, right? Or take an action or to feel a certain way. Inspiration, right? It's like the enrolling into what you're passionate about. That always needs to be happening. That is the core of your marketing. Then there is invitation, right? You have to invite them to take the next step, the next action, right? So you have to have both. You have to inspire and invite. If you invite without an inspiration, nobody's going to take action. If you inspire but don't ask them to take the next step with you, then you're wasting, your time and their time, right? You want to bring them along. You want them to take the next action and create that transformation in their life that they want. Makes sense? So you want to be constantly inspiring and inviting. Okay. All right, so that is your energy, right? Number 2 is your online presence. So here's the things you obviously need to cover. Number 1, your logo. If you need to redesign one or you don't have one, go to fiverr.com, fiverr.com. Get one done in 24 hours for less than $20. Check it off your list. You can always change it if you don't like it. Brand colors, right? Be clear about building a cohesion between your authentic self and your authentic presence and what you're trying to create and what you're trying to sell, and the colors. Here's where people go wrong. They pick the colors that they like and has nothing to do with their actual brand. For example, people go for orange and they're trying to create a high-end coaching program. Well, that doesn't work because orange is for money savings and cheap and things like that. Right, so making sure you are considering that, right? If you a high-end brand, go for black or go for dark purple because that's transformation and luxury, or gold and things like that. All right. And next, for your online brand, let's see, fonts. Making sure if you are a traditional brand, you're using what's called serif fonts. If you are if you're a modern brand, go for sans serif fonts, right? So you want to choose the serif fonts, by the way, those are the ones with like the little legs and stuff. The sans serif, those are the smooth fonts. So be clear about what your brand is and then choose your font. Also, if you're a female brand, if you are, representing the feminine, make sure one of your fonts is the script fonts. There's beautiful script fonts. You can just Google free script fonts and it will spit out a bunch of links with thousands of free script fonts. You can download them and upload them to Canva. That brings me to Canva. Let's talk about Canva for a minute. My favorite tool for online branding, okay? I know most people are already using it. If you're not, hop on and learn it. It's awesome. It's going to save you thousands of dollars on Branding Designer. It's amazing. I use it for everything. I use it for my signature program sheets, for my speaker sheets, for my all my social media posting, right? Everything, my cover banners, you name it. So make sure that you learn how to use it and get quick at it because it's going to save you so many thousands of dollars in the long run. Okay, so professional brand photography. You want to make sure you get this done and you have an array of professional pictures. When you schedule your branding photo shoot, you have a list of what you need. Include pictures with different emotions, different environments, different clothing items, right? So you want to bring with you maybe a couple different scarves that you can change, right? Make sure a couple of them are in your brand colors, so you're including your brands into your branding photo shoot and get that done. You will need at least 25 different pictures, right? For your social media, for your freebies that you're building to build your email list, right? All this stuff, like you're going to need quite a few pictures. So make sure when you talk to your photographer, make sure you let them know and negotiate the price because the more the better, okay? So now the third aspect is the offline brand, right? So this gets a little tricky, but we could talk about clothing and accessories and things like that. I'm going to be totally blunt and honest with you guys. So I'm not the kind of person who likes to spend a lot on pretty and fancy clothing, and I don't. I'm totally shameless about this. I have no problem with you shopping at Goodwill and finding some nice pieces to put together, right? I don't want you, if you're starting out or if you're growing your business and you need a lot of money to invest into things that matter, right? Like coaching, like scaling, right? Hiring your first virtual assistant, like advertising, Facebook ads, things like that, right? Those are the three things you should absolutely be spending money on. Not $10,000 on your website, not on building a perfect brand, right? It gets checked off the list. It's something you can get done fairly cheap, fairly quickly, move on. Make sense? So, so clothing, right? Just make sure you look somewhat put together. Put in the 20% of the effort that's going to create the 80% result, right? That's kind of my take on it. I know it's kind of a little bit of a sensitive topic, but I'll tell you, like, for example, I have not done my nails since I was like 10 years old because I just can't be bothered and I am terrible at it and I'm just not getting anywhere. I also really don't like wearing heels. So I'm the kind of person, I'm just really gonna do the 20% effort, get the 80% results, get my hair done and makeup done in 20 minutes and go. Okay, so that's me. Right? Now, I have total respect for you if you're committed to looking awesome and committed to just looking fabulous. It's amazing. All I'm saying that you don't have to. Figure out a way to represent yourself in a decent way and not spending a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money on this. Make sense? So, good enough is good enough. When it comes to branding, the main focus is really how you show up and your energy, because that's what draws people to you. People work with you because they either like you or they want to be like you, okay? The colors are like 5% of the whole equation. It's mostly about your energy and mostly about how you show up, right? They relate to you or they're inspired by you or whatever, or they feel like you can get them the results that they want. So, so that's where you should put your effort, right, when it comes to personal branding. So my invitation to you, actually I have two. Number one, join my Facebook group because it's awesome. And I do so many of these trainings all the time in there. And number two, if you have questions or you're like, okay, I'm here, I don't know how to get here, right? Like you want help, you want my strategic help. I do it usually in 20 minutes. I'm really, really good at this. This is like my business zone of genius. I help people map out which platform is right for them, what strategy, what funnel. Is it speaking? Is it starting a group? Is it workshop? Is it the online thing? Is it starting a Facebook group? What is it, right? So I'm very, very good at helping figure out and giving them a strategy of how to move forward to get the best results and how to get them clients fast, build that financial freedom, and not be working all the time, because having a team and having a lifestyle that you love is so, so, so important. So if you want to take me up on this, I want you to schedule a session with me. You can do that by, I'm going to post a link below to my calendar. Make sure you guys can schedule with me. I'm available. You'll find a 30-minute session in that, usually on Monday afternoons or Monday mornings or Friday late evenings, and there's a couple options. So just go in there, schedule it in the next week. That's when I have sessions available, and I can't wait to talk to you. You're welcome to ask me about my rates and how I work with people and all that, and anything that you're curious about. I can't wait to help you with your business, and I will see you soon in the next training video. Love you guys.